Hi guys, this is Zsuzsa from Zsuzsa Healing. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm guided to talk to you about something that makes most people sad, full of sorrow, full of grief, and that's nothing else but death. I have some personal experiences in the past month, and I would like to share that with you because it brought me personally a sense of peace. I'm also going to talk to you about guardian angels and death doors, and of course, many other things. So, I am a Theta Healing practitioner and Certificate of Science Theta Healing Master Instructor. So most of the things that I'm going to talk to you about are based of the philosophy of Theta Healing. And indeed, thanks to this modality and techniques and the tools that we are given in the seminars, I am able to now really tap into people and see what is going on. If I hear that they are doing very unwell, or they had a heart attack, or that they have been showing symptoms of dying, really not wanting to be here, I can actually tap in, and most of the times I can perceive if the person is close to taking the death door. So, what is a death door? We have death doors. These are like options to leave this plane of existence, this lifetime, and go home, which in Theta Healing we call the fifth plane. Um, but how does it look like? When I perceive it, I see the person, it depends when I'm looking at it, because if I'm looking at it and the person is, quote unquote, dying, I see like an opening above them, and like I sense like a pool, like a magnetic pool that is like pulling the remainder parts of the soul to that, like a tube, like a light, like a tunnel. When I see this and there are no guardian angels around, and I know the person is supposedly dying, I perceive this being the truth. When I just, get a call to check someone because they just had a heart attack, and what I see is a little bit of the remainder of the energy of what happened, and I can also, see what happened during the heart attack, and I can see that indeed there was a death door open, but the person is now in a hospital recovering and decided to stay. So that's like post the opening of the death door. And yeah, sometimes I just look and I don't see any death door, and it looks like this person can live for another 20 years, or maybe they can die in like 2 weeks. And these situations I'm telling you about, especially the ones when I'm seeing that that door is someone being in a hospital or unwell, and going to a process of dying, not included, accidental deaths or killings. Okay, so two experiences I had lately. One of them is an aunt. I found out that she was taken to the hospital. Her son contacted me. I told him be with her as much as possible. I don't see her staying here for much longer. I knew that her condition was somewhat worsening. And then her son my cousin made this family chat, and some people were saying, "Don't worry, she's gonna be home before Easter. She promised to be home for Easter." And right away I was getting the message that's an obligation that might keeps her here, instead of for her to be able to just go and be relieved and have peace. So I actually said in the family chat that, we should release her from any promises of coming home. If she is ready to go, she should go, because she was suffering and in pain. And her granddaughter wrote back to me and said, it really touched my heart what you said, and of course first I was like, no, I want her to stay, but right after that I just knew the right thing to do is to let her go. And I released her from the obligation and from her promises, and she passed away the next morning. So it was a beautiful transformation to watch. It really, really gave me just inner peace. It was beautiful. She was released and relieved, and having so much love for her family, yet excited to go home, and she was at peace. The next experience I had is with a friend and his father. So I have a friend here in Florida. He's Hungarian. He was telling me how his father was unwell. I right away was getting the message that he needed to go home. He needed to go back to Hungary before it's too late. So I told him the message, and he listened. I think in a day or two he purchased his flight to Hungary, but 10 days from that date. And well, his father was declining, and even a couple days before his trip, he was worried and asked me, Zsuzsa, is he gonna die before I get there? And I said, no, he's gonna wait for you. He is waiting for you, and don't worry about that. And indeed, he arrived home. The next day, he went to see his father in the hospital, and the day after that day, or the day after the next, I'm not sure. Don't quote me. He passed away. Very similar energy of the whole experience than in my aunt's case. Very peaceful transition, and beautiful. And then yesterday, my friend slash client calls me or texts me that her father had a heart attack, and she was very worried. As soon as I tapped into him, I could feel that indeed he had that door open. That door, he came. He decided to stay. We have free agency to stay. That door's open. What I see happening, this is Zsuzsa's world, is we get basically summoned. It could be like a wake-up call. This is what's this is your soul's mission. This is your life purpose. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to learn. This is who you're supposed to help, and get on track. And maybe not with this demanding, voice, but yes, basically, to make sure that if you stay, it's like a wake-up call, don't forget why you're here. And indeed, many times people have near-death experiences, and they shift everything, and they turn their life around, indeed, the experience itself makes them more mature and accountable, responsible, determined, purposeful, and so on. So that can happen too. And if you were like, oh, I wish that happened to me, can the Creator just release that? Because you can actually spiritually evolve without having to go through that door, or without having to even consider leaving this third plane of existence. Okay, so you can just stay here and evolve, and that could be a smooth process without any sicknesses, illnesses, and near-death experiences. Okay, thank you. All right, so the other possibility is I had to get back my thoughts there for a second. So, the other version of that is someone who completed their life purpose and they've done everything that they supposed to do in a lifetime, and they have a that door that opens now. They again have the free agency, which is our birthright, to decide to stay here longer than originally planned. I've seen that also happen. So, you know, the variety is countless of how these things can work out, and creator is very creative. Let's just say that. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about, I mentioned briefly the guardian angels. I think it's very comforting to know that we have at least one guardian angel assigned to us, who protects us, who provides us with divine protection and sometimes also guidance. And I've seen people having just one very powerful angel, but I also seen people having two, three guardian angels. Three is the max I've seen, you know, in a regular setting. The most I've seen was during someone's life-saving 8-hour surgery, and I saw 8 guardian angels coming I mean 8 of them in the room, in the operating room all together. Most of them were like supporting the person's guardian angels coming in to help. So it was beautiful experience to see that I wasn't the only one trying to save this person's life, because I was just asking creator to send unconditional love to the whole surgery and to the staff and to of course the patient, and to be able to witness 8 angels well, in some way doing the same was really, really gorgeous. So I mentioned when there's a dead door and I don't perceive the angel presence, the guardian angel's presence that much anymore or at all, that's to me, and this is Juja's world, is the sign that that person is about to cross over. I think I spoke about everything I wanted to speak to you about. Of course, this is a very complex subject, and I hope somewhat my video is a contribution. If you lost someone, if you feel sorrow and grief because of someone's death, still tap into their soul, perceive the energy, how they are doing, and well, hopefully that will give you some peace, because or just ask creator to show you the transformation process when they crossed over. If you're a Theta healer, of course, you can also witness them going to the light, and you can also perceive if some people couldn't go to the light. We call them waywards. They are kind of stuck between this plane of existence and the light. We can help them to cross over. We learned this in the basic Theta Healing seminar that I'm teaching this weekend. Anyways, yes, I really recommend Theta Healing to you. Using those tools and improving my skills, my abilities through the technique is what is actually making it possible for me to tap into these situations and to these people and have my experiences. Anyways, I hope you have an amazing day. I'm sending you unconditional love always, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.